have no energy anymore. That's why I got to keep.
Why?
going.
What are you doing?
Well, it's just hot outside, and I'm
I
out
know.
all the time. So.
Now I know. We have so much to talk about. Okay, so my special guest that was going to come on, he's fighting a fire tonight, so he's not. He's missing out. Next week we've got lots planned, but I'm like, you know what? The two of us have not been able to chat for a while, and now that I finally got out of this country, well, I have been out of the country, but I've never been to Europe, so that would be a good time to talk about Europe because I can't tell you how many people said to me, Julie, you're gonna love it too much. You're never gonna want to come back. And the shopping is so incredible. You're never gonna be able to find anything ever again in the U.S. I loved Italy. What's your favorite city in Italy?
Ooh. Like Como is really nice. I like Positano and Capri.
See, you were at different places than I've been.
Yeah. Well,
Have
I've
you
been
been to
I've been to
Venice?
Cinque Terre. I've been to Venice. I've been to Portofino. I've been to all over.
Okay, so Venice was my favorite.
Yeah, Venice is cool.
I loved Venice.
Take the gondola rides and listen to
We
the
actually
opera.
did, and you know what? John said he would never do a gondola ride, and we did one.
It's romantic.
But we also took the water taxis, and there is nothing better than water taxiing from your restaurant right up to our hotel was on the water.
That's cool, yeah.
It was really cool. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
Cinque Terre for everybody that's like, I mean, yeah, I feel like to hike.
It's like Disneyland with too many people. That's what I saw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the things. Number one, I think shopping in New York City is just as good, if not better. What's your thought? You're a shopper.
Yeah, no, I mean like Milano and Florence.
Well, I was in Milano.
Yeah, there's. It depends on the brand.
But
right?
I didn't think that was like,
No,
I thought it was
wasn't,
going to.
no.
Right, okay. Number two, air conditioning. I told John, I go, I never want to hear you complain about how hot Arizona is
Yeah.
because let me just tell you, at least we have fucking air conditioning.
Yeah.
Like really, really, really good air conditioning because when you're hot,
Yeah.
you can cool the place down. And in so many of this, in Cinque Terre, in Tuscany, literally the they're like, oh, it's on high.
And you got to ask for ice too, most.
Oh my gosh! Oh, so we're walking around. Where were we? We were in Milan, and we're at the castle, and they have a stand of drinks. And so, see, John likes to get so funny. Every time he orders a drink, it's this very fluffy, girly drink that they try to serve me, and I'm like, no,
That's his.
that's his. So, and he's the limoncello guy. Loves
Oh, yeah.
the limoncello spritz, which is like limoncello is
Sugary,
like.
yeah.
But it's the thing in
Oh, yeah.
Italy, right?
Southern Italy for sure.
So he got the limoncello spritz at this stand, and they have gin and tonic. I love gin. Do you like gin?
Not my favorite.
Why? I feel like so many people hate gin, though. What is that?
I think it's just preferential of what your taste buds like.
Yeah, but okay. Do you know, like, do you have friends that are like, because you're not such a huge drinker, but
No.
like, apparently alcohol affects people differently.
Mm.
Like, different alcohols. And apparently gin is one of those that some people like cannot, they don't do well with.
Process it.
Yeah. Anyways, so I don't do tonic, gin and tonic, which is amazing, but sugary.
Yeah.
So I always do a gin and soda. Well, they didn't quite understand it.
You got it off, huh?
I got a gin and water.
Ooh.
And no ice, and it's like 90 degrees, and it was super strong, right? So we walk away. He has his girly limoncello spritz, and I've got my gin and
Water.
and I'm like drinking it, going, God, this just tastes really bad.
Yeah.
So I finally gave it to John to try it, and he goes, wow. And then I realized, and then I go, you know what the problem with it is there's no soda. It was freaking water. So a hot gin and water.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
John drank it for me.
He's like, he didn't
He
care.
didn't care. He's like, do you want mine? I'll drink yours. I go, you can have both. That's fine. Anyways, so yeah, so there is no ice, bad air conditioning. And the pace of people.
Oh, they're slow. Yeah. Italy's a slow town.
Oh,
Yeah.
and the thing is this, is the whole tip thing, like tipping is great in some ways because it motivates people to do better, be nicer, have better service, right? Like be more personable.
Yeah.
There's no motivation to be better, have better service, right? To be interested because
Well, in Italy, you're still supposed to tip.
Not really.
Yeah, but not 20% plus, more like 10.
More like 10. But
Yeah.
even then, it's still not expected in Italy. And so
Yeah.
they're just like, and I don't think they really like Americans.
Well, maybe it depends on where you are. Yeah, the big saying over there is la dolce de niente, which basically means the art of nothing. So they don't do anything. They just
Well, right,
relax
the
and chill.
economy.
Yeah.
Well, and in Tuscany, they're paying people 32. This is for you.
Oh, to move there and buy
Yes!
property, yeah. Because they have all these dilapidated
Oceanfront property.
200-year-old estates.
Right, yeah, so you're going to buy it for,
Yeah.
they're going to pay you $32,000.
You're going to spend $1 million trying to refurbish it if you can.
Well, and then the economy, there's no economy there, really. There's no, so it was interesting. I mean, I loved it. I'm so glad I visited it. It's so incredible seeing these castles and the churches, which John got kicked out of everyone. Oh, I mean, that was me, because I was wearing, you can't
Too
wear,
revealing.
my dresses were too short, we were everywhere we went. We're like, oh,
shooing
buy
you out
another,
with a broom.
buy another scarf, we're like, anyways, but I mean, incredible.
It's a great place. Yep. By far my favorite country in the world. I've been there more
Is
than
Italy?
any other country.
Yeah. Why? What is the draw for you?
Well, depends on where you are. So like southern Italy, which you haven't been yet, the food is amazing. 10 out of 10.
Do you think it's better than like Venice and?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Why? So what's different?
Well, because
I'll talk about the food
Yeah,
too.
so Stanley Tucci did a show where basically he went all over Italy.
Yeah.
And northern Italy, mid-Italy, which is where you were, and then southern Italy have different coastal climates, different produce, and different ways in which they cook. So if you go down south, they use a lot of lemons, a lot of zucchinis, a lot of tomatoes, a lot of produce because they're on the coast. They can grow produce. In the north, it's a little heavier. And then near Venice, they don't use the same type of sun-soaked sauces and stuff like that they do in the south. So it's different. And what I like is buttered, nice, fresh produce, butter lettuce, zucchini pasta, and it's off the charts.
Zucchini pasta. I did not see zucchini pasta once. So that's the thing. Like every single restaurant we went by was just like heavy pizza, pasta. Like that's just not the way I eat. And where's the oatmeal? Nobody has oatmeal or egg whites. I'm like, can I get egg whites? No.
But they have
no, you can't
grits.
have egg whites. You cannot have egg whites. No, I didn't even see grits. They have porridge. What's porridge?
That's a variant of grit, basically.
What is a grit?
So a grit is a grain. It's like corn grain. So they have a lot of.
See, a corn grain is just not as good as oatmeal.
Yeah, in Italy they use.
I'm glad you know this stuff. I knew you would know this stuff.
Oh, it's polenta. They use a lot of polenta, which is a corn grain.
Yeah.
So that's a variant of grits and
which has absolutely no nutritional value. By the way.
But it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Especially when it's fried.
But I was like,
with
okay,
sauce.
can I, you're going to make me eggs. Can I get them with egg whites? Like, can you just not crack the egg without the, nope.
Well, hotels will for you.
Nope. Nope.
Interesting.
Nope. Like, shut up and eat it. And bread,
A lot of carbs, yeah.
pastries. I was like.
But let me tell you something different about Italy is their flour is different.
Because there's no preservatives in it. There's no shit in it.
It's zero flour, which when you eat pasta over there, it's very different than eating it over here.
And that's what I heard. Yeah. However, it was ironic because as we talk about how like fresh and it's all different, there were 2 Barilla factories.
Barilla?
Yeah, the pasta, Barilla.
Oh, Barilla, yeah. Well, that's Americanized shit.
Yeah. In Italy, they're 2 huge. I'm sure where they make
the
it.
pastas. Yeah, but you like when you go down south, they have like the tomato factories, the tomato sauces, and all the different produce pieces, and the wines. I don't know if you had a lot of Chianti and stuff like that.
We did drink quite a bit of wine.
Yeah.
I can't remember because
I mean, Tuscany and Chianti regions have amazing.
We actually stayed. Oh my gosh, the coolest place. Roncolo, 1888, a bed and breakfast, beautiful. And then down the hill is their winery. So we actually bought some wine and champagne from them, which was awesome. Got to taste it. And then that was close to the Ferrari Museum and factory. So I wonder if it is the same place.
Well, where you were is close to Modena and Maranello,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
where they
that's
make
where it is.
Okay.
Yep, so we were
So you're
there.
probably in Maranello.
Yeah, we were in Marinella. Thank you for saying
Yeah.
that. That's exactly
Yeah.
where we were.
Yeah.
So, and we drove past the factory. I have pictures of
Yeah,
it.
Modena is the factory.
Yeah.
So
So
it's,
we were
it's
there.
very close. Yeah.
We were there. We saw the factory's right there.
Yeah.
So we went to the museum. I mean,
Not your bag, huh? Look better than the Fiat, let me tell you.
oh my god, we just laughed our asses off about the Fiat. Oh my god, did you see? I posted it.
Yeah,
Oh, I sent it to you.
Yeah,
Yeah, because our little rental car was a Fiat. John looked absolutely ridiculous in it. When we were both sitting in it, it was one thing, but then he was like, let me go grab the car, I'll pull it up. And when I see him driving up in this, he's so big in this little teeny tiny car, it just killed me. But when we went to Milan, everybody either is on a scooter, which I hate, motorcycles more than life itself, and or these just like smart cars. The cars are just
They're
minuscule,
tiny,
right?
Yeah. Parking's hard over there.
And but I'm like, okay, that's all I want. And in Cabo, John bought a scooter. He bought a moped, which I'm like, it's a motorcycle. What is a motorcycle? It's a cycle, 2 wheels with a motor. I don't care if it's a moped or it's just a motorcycle. It is, right? So he has this little moped which he wants me to go on to ride over the beach to, anyways, El Pedregal. And I'm like, can we not just buy one of these little cars? I mean, they're like, but I go, at least they have like
4 wheels
and they have
something around
have
you.
metal around you.
Yeah.
Just like he goes, you look so stupid in that thing. I go, I don't know, I don't care. Like, I would love that. Me. I go, the smaller, the nerdier, the better. Like,
Well, the irony is like the old Fiats that were built in the 70s and 80s, their little Fiat 100s are hugely collectible because all the people in the Hamptons in California
Have them?
Yeah,
Oh.
so they're like blue and white little cars with like wicker seats inside.
Oh,
They're
really?
really stylish and cool. Yeah, they're like $100,000 a piece.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're really cool.
Well, I just remember there was a guy here
Yeah.
that he bought a Fiat, and I'm like, he's an Italian guy.
Yeah.
He actually owns his family owns Vespa.
Did he pull it off? Was it cool? Or?
No, and, in Arizona, when you
Yeah.
see somebody in this little tiny like,
Yeah,
but then you go to Milan and you're like, okay,
It's
now
cool.
it kind of makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
Like now I get it because your options are moped,
Yeah.
motorcycle, or this
Little
little
car,
car. Or
yeah.
car. I would rather have a little car with some
Exactly.
metal surrounding
Yeah, yeah.
me, right? So now all of a sudden you look cool in your Fiat. However, get to Scottsdale where everybody's got a huge ass SUV and you get in your little Fiat and you're like, meep. You look
Yeah.
ridiculous,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You would look so silly in one.
They're small. I mean, I drove a few when I was in Italy too, but yeah, they don't translate well. But on the beach, they're cool. Not the new ones, but I'm talking about the old historic ones. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah.
Of them. Let's see what we got.
Let's look it up.
Yeah. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so 12 days was long enough. I didn't really feel, I didn't feel like ready to come home until it was time to come home. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Do you feel like that? Like,
Yeah.
when it's time to come home, it's like time to come home.
I love
Traveling?
Well, I do, but these are the jollies, so these are the real collectible ones. You see, they have the
that
wicker
looks
thing.
like, okay, but that,
Yeah, they're
okay,
cool.
show,
Yeah.
that looks like $100,000.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
Yeah. So those are the cool things.
How long what's your longest travel that you've done?
In Italy?
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
2.5
Okay.
weeks.
All
That's
right.
about
Well,
it.
2.5. That's a long time. Plus, I will say, I think this is going to be the key for me. I think a cruise would be better for me.
More to see.
No.
Mm.
I think I would be better on a cruise because I am, and you are too, I feel like, but I am such a routine person. I feel like I could get a better routine being on a ship. First of all, you pack your shit, you throw it on the ship, and now you're done.
Done, yeah.
Right? And hang everything up. But then there's a gym. You could go to the
Yeah,
gym
yeah.
every morning
Yeah.
that I like to do because everybody's like, oh, see, this is the thing. Everybody talks about how they lose weight when they go to Italy because they don't work out, and then they go to Italy and they walk, and they're like, oh my God, look at I burned all these. Before 7 a.m., I've already burned 400 calories, and then I run around all day,
Yeah.
right, and teach class and do all these other things. So walking around for me is like, it's not like enough for me. Like my
Right.
body's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like I need to like.
Move it, yeah.
I like to move it.
Yeah.
And so that was one thing I thought, like, because it's a lot. It's also stressful. Like
Yeah.
3 days here, unpack your shit, repack your shit, move to the next place, unpack your shit, repack your shit. Plus, on the cruise ship, you know you're going to get good air conditioning.
Well, that's why it's almost better if you like a certain place or some place speaks to you. Like we love Capri and Positano, so we rent a place for like 3 or 4 weeks there, and then you have all your stuff in one area, and then you can take a car and go around and come back.
But do you spend nights in places and
You
come
can,
back?
yeah, but you don't have to. Day trips.
Day trips.
Yeah.
So interesting. Cinque Terre. How many times have you been to Cinque Terre?
Once.
Just once. Okay. So Cinque Terre, if you've never been, that was really eye-opening. Everybody talks about how beautiful Cinque Terre is, and it is. It's really beautiful. It's something you have to. Oh, and there was something else. Cinque Terre is definitely something you need to see.
Once.
It is. It's like such a freaking tourist trap.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Everybody said to me, "Don't pack a lot, Julie, because it's a nightmare on the cobblestone streets." Which, so in Venice, our hotel was on the water. So we Ubered to the water taxi. The water taxi took us to our hotel, and right from the water taxi we were in. So we didn't have to worry about the cobblestone.
Yeah.
Like if you, so that's what I would say is make sure your hotel is on the water.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so that was nothing. But then when we went to Cinque Terre, we got a hotel because John was smart and knows it's like all uphill,
Yeah.
it's all cobblestone.
Yeah.
So he got a hotel that was kind of away from the little towns,
Yeah.
but you could drive to it, right? But then there's a funicular.
Mhm.
Everything's like up on a freaking mountain.
Yep.
So the
It's all vertical.
cab pulls up, we unload all our luggage, and there's this funicular coming down, which we barely fit in it with the.
Mhm.
It goes like. It takes like 15 minutes to get to the. You're like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the coastal cities, which you get a taste of that with Cinque Terre because it's vertical coastal.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you go further down south, there is a lot of tourism, but it's a little more
Spread out
slightly.
Well, yeah. I mean, Milan was packed, and it was hot.
Oh yeah. It's
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. So we get to so back to Cinque Terre though. So you get to there's like 3 taxi drivers.
Mm-hmm. There's probably not a lot of cars in Cinque Terre, if any, because usually they have to go to the top and stop.
There's not a lot.
Yeah.
And there's so you have like 3 cab drivers, so that's great. And then the towns really have not a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really just the hike. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Stunning.
But it was very warm. And then when we got to Milan, oh my gosh, Milan was just absolutely packed. Oh, Taylor Swift was there the 2 nights we were there 3. She was there 2 of the nights. And apparently, it's cheaper to go see Taylor Swift in Europe than it is to see Taylor Swift here.
Why is that? The Euro exchange or what?
No, I think she's more popular in the U.S. than in Europe.
Oh, interesting.
So your tickets in the U.S. are $3,000. Your tickets in Europe are $1,600. So people are going
2 for 1.
2 for 1. You get your trip, and you see Taylor Swift.
Do you get to meet Taylor for $3,000 or
No.
You just get to go.
You get a shitty seat. Yeah, so there were people actually on our plane flying home. So I don't know. It was so packed and hot. That's one thing I'm like, we don't have to go in the summer because
It's better to go in the fall.
we're footloose and fancy free. I don't know. John has this idea of like, you got to get out of Arizona. Once again, John, at least we have amazing air conditioning here.
That's true. We got that until it breaks down.
Yeah, but that's why you have your AC guy. I have a good one if you need one. No, seriously. I mean, I think the whole Arizona gets such a bad rap for our heat.
If you're working in 120 degree heat, it's bad. I mean, I'm just telling you straight up.
If you're working inside?
No, like working outside.
Well, yeah, that's terrible. But why would you work outside?
Well, when you're building houses.
Well, don't do it.
Yeah, someone get out there.
Hire somebody.
Yeah.
They get out there. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning, so I finally decided, I'll walk the dogs at 5.
It's still hot.
It was warm.
Yeah, it's humid.
Ask
too.
Rosie. I mean, I don't know why. Rosie is she's such a prima donna. She's like huffing and puffing. I mean, she's like.
You give her some shoes.
No, it wasn't that hot.
Yeah.
But she's just a freaking baby. Like, tongue's like way out of the mouth.
Did you guys get to go to Lake Como or no?
No, we didn't. And I hear that's such a tourist trap.
Oh, Como's beautiful.
I looked it up. I saw pictures. John's been to Lake Como.
Yeah.
He was like,
Reason to go back. Now you get to go down to southern Italy next time.
Yeah, no, we will. We'll definitely go back. We definitely have he has other places that he wants to go, and you know, I think once you go, then you want to keep going.
When's your next big trip?
So July 30th, a couple weeks. I go 10 days. I'm going to miss again. So that's why I was like, we got to go live today.
Mm-hmm.
Catch up with you guys. We're going to Cabo.
Yep.
To do the La Paz trip.
Oh, good.
So you guys will have to stay tuned because we're going to be on an uninhabited island that I'm going to do my workout on.
That's cool.
Yeah. And I said, okay, so how am I getting exercise? And John's like, you can swim. I mean, I'm gonna teach my class on the end, but like daily, he's like, well, we'll go swimming. I'm like, I have been watching too many shark attack things lately.
Shark Week.
No, you know, YouTube. You know, the algorithm for YouTube, like you watch something and then all of a
makes
sudden
you watch it over and over and over again.
They just keep sending you new shit at the same time. Oh, you like sharks? We'll show you sharks. So now I get all this gruesome shark shit, and it's really freaky.
Oh.
Which I'm also getting. I hate talking politics, but the whole Trump thing.
Oh, yeah.
And here we are in Italy.
Yeah. Yeah, well, how was that in Italy when you heard about the assassination attempt?
I mean, it was crazy. I mean, everybody was talking
They
about
were.
it. Yeah. All the way in Italy.
Interesting.
Right? It's crazy. I mean, I think it's unsettling.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, everyone
not
looks...
even picking sides. I just think the whole thing is just unsettling.
Yeah.
Right?
Fortunately, it's part of politics from the beginning of time.
Wow.
Not a good thing.
This is why I'm not running for president.
My style, Jules. For P.
I just don't really want to be picked off that way.
Yeah.
You know? The one thing I want to see is what does his ear look like?
Well, I think it got sharpened or something. I don't
like
think he got a bullet.
Like barely, right?
Yeah, barely, yeah.
I was like, did they have to do any surgery on it? God, he's freaking lucky.
Teflon Don strikes again.
I mean, yeah, that was big talk. I was like, I don't know, that was upsetting.
Yeah. Well, I think I would assume watching him briefly at the RNC, after something like that, you're very humbled and appreciative to still be alive, I would assume, you know.
Well, I think it would be hard to get back up there.
Yeah. Or he's so he was smart enough to use it as a marketing op. It didn't happen. Okay, let me get my shoes.
Okay, well, look at that photographer.
That's great.
That photographer, like, he's freaking set. He is freaking set.
Yeah, he had some great photos, that's for sure.
All right, did you see the girl that did the hot to it?
Not that. Well, I've seen her stuff, but I haven't seen. They do one on the.
No, but that girl, she's made. Do you know how much money she's made off of that?
I don't know.
She has made so much freaking money off of that. Like, she's just this uneducated. I don't know if maybe she's not uneducated, but just this sweet young thing that's like, right?
Good for her.
And that is why we live in the.
That's why we live in the great America.
The U.S. Yeah. Well, and that was part of my thing too. Is like, oh my gosh, Italy is so slow.
But that's why people go, to turn off the brain, not turn it on.
Oh, I need like a little bit more.
We got to see the whole thing first. You got a little taste. Now
I
you
got a
get
little
the full
taste. I gotta go for the full thing. I know. We did go to some really cool restaurants. Yeah. The one, my favorite, two favorite. One, so when you go, if you go to Milan, are you gonna spend any time in Milan?
No.
Well, motherfucker, you have to.
Well, I was in Milan last time I was there.
Yeah, but you didn't spend time there.
4 days.
Oh, you did? That's time. Yeah. All right. The Dolce & Gabbana Martini Bar was just so freaking chic and cool.
Yeah.
Like, really cool.
Yeah.
And then the other place was the Roof, what's it called? The Rooftop Milan. And it's just the most gorgeous view, just super cool, but super vibey, super cool.
I am going when I go in September to the Dior pop-up, which is pretty cool.
Oh.
They have a bar within a bar that's all Christian Dior inspired. That's pretty interesting.
A bar inside. Where is that at?
In Capri.
Yeah, well, we did go into, by the way, Giorgio Armani.
Yeah.
Do you know he just turned 90, like last week?
Oh, I didn't know. I mean, he's old. I know that.
He turned 90 like last week. Okay, but we went into the Armani home store. He is freaking incredible. So this girl, she looked at us and thought, wow, they're ready to spend some money.
Dumb Americans.
She gave us like the ultimate tour, 3 stories. Like you're in Crate, you feel like you're in Crate and Barrel, right? 3 stories of all Armani
Furniture.
like $35,000 for a couch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Fendi's doing that now too. Did you?
Yeah. I saw the Fendi home store.
Yeah.
I didn't walk in the Fendi home store. There's also there was the Fendi home store. There was Etro home store. But like we're talking a rug this size, $50,000 that my dog can pee on. So John and I were talking about this because his dog started. Once a dog marks its territory. It really likes that territory, and it just keeps coming back, and you can't get the scent out. Like, you can wash it, but it knows. And so they had this really expensive rug, and it wasn't $50,000, but it was an expensive rug, and the dog kept peeing on it. And I said, that's why you get rid of the rugs. He goes, no, that's why I get rid of the dog. I was like, I just don't have any rugs in my house. We solved that problem, right? And they don't pee.
Yeah.
Because they can't mark their territory on it. It's not the same.
Right.
On the wood floor or whatever. But he's like, no, I chose the rug over the dog. He didn't. He still had the dog. But, I mean, that can be, I'm like looking at it going, can you imagine you have a $50,000 rug and you have friends over and they trip with the red wine?
No,
like,
that's why I'm not buying any rugs for my house either.
And but also same with the couches and stuff. I mean, it's like.
Yeah, you need perennial if you get a light so you can wipe it down just in case.
And then they had this, everything, everything in there was like $50,000.
Pricey.
Freaking fortune. It's beautiful, but I don't know. What's your thought? Okay, here you are, builder. What's your thought on spending a lot of money on furniture? Don't you think you can get the look without the price?
You need both. Because what happens is there's 2 things that are really important. I was just having a conversation.
I don't want to do IKEA.
One is the entry point. So the moment you walk into the house, you got to spend a lot of money because you need a big impact.
I agree.
And then the other one that you want to spend a lot of money on is your great room and kitchen because a lot of people sit there and see it and you want to make sure it's dialed in perfectly. Secondary bedrooms, all that stuff, you don't need to spend that much.
Yeah.
But it needs to look good.
But you need your
quality.
So quality. So do you think like when you talk quality, would you say like Restoration Hardware?
It's a good base. Yeah, good base.
What else do you like?
Locally, CB2 is great.
I was just about to say CB2, which is actually a little less expensive than Restoration Hardware.
Yeah, I go to the Avenue, which has a lot of different stuff. I go to a place called Mod, which is modern.
Where's that at? I feel like
it's in Mesa, but actually they bring in stuff from North Carolina, and it's all built by design. It's very cool stuff. It's very reasonable too.
Oh. Look at that. Yeah. That's cool.
I have like 4 or 5 different vendors I go to.
Do you feel like there was a time, at least, I think, that Restoration Hardware was so overdone? You like walk in the house and you're like, restoration. Like, I was like, okay, could you do something more exciting? And as I say that, like, my whole house at one point was all completely
Restoration has a good base, and I think when Gary Friedman, who was the previous CEO and still the largest shareholder, ran it because he had to step down because he was like sleeping with some of the people in there or something apparently. But to his credit, he did a really good job at creating a beautiful vignettes and beautiful furniture.
And at a price that more people could afford.
It's still pricey, but it's within reach. You know what I mean? So I think as a base, having a few nice Restoration Hardware pieces is a good way to start. And then art.
And the chandelier. What's your thought on art?
Well, for me, I think art needs to represent you, and I think I like bigger scale, especially when you have big, high
walls.
Ceilings.
Instead of having a bunch of little shit.
Yeah, little shit's cheap.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think you have to spend a total fortune. So where do you go? Where do you like to go for art?
All over. One thing I do is actually I like black and white photography. So I'll find pieces that I like, have them professionally blown up by like 3x5s and things like that. Get them framed, and then you can walk by what you like.
Plus, not like that, but framing is expensive. Framing can make something look really, but you can also really make something look so much more special than
prefab the frame, yeah. Right. So the way to do a lot of art inexpensively is to do the blow-ups and then buy actual frames pre-bought.
Yeah.
And then get the mats and make sure they're large scale and they look very nice.
And then all of a sudden you have a huge
piece of art.
And
it looks good.
I agree. There's I can't think of the name of the artist. John bought for his house, that's a photographer, very famous photographer who does the most incredible. you wouldn't know. You can't tell the difference between a photo and I guess you kind of can, because they almost look like, it looks like a stage scene from a movie, and it's like literally almost the size of his whole wall. It's like the most incredible thing. But then all you need is one.
Yeah.
But that was expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The larger the piece, usually the more expensive it is.
Typically, yeah.
I mean, if you get a 5x7 or something like that, it's going to cost a lot.
It's also cool to kind of collect that too.
If you have enough wall space.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm building my house, where I actually have a art gallery wall when you walk in. So you have lined art that's lit up that you can see.
Oh, you have it like specifically lined to.
Specifically lined for the cans, yeah.
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
Yeah.
But that also comes with experience and knowing like what you want in your next home.
Yeah, and it comes with taste as you grow old, and then you have your own eclectic style, right? So I think when you go into a home and you see someone that has great taste in art and things, and it all kind of blends together, it takes 10, 20, 30 years to put it together half the time.
Yeah. Pieces
collected over a long period of time.
So what do you do in the meantime?
What do you do for the viewers?
Well, no, when you're trying to, because everybody, I feel like people want to get into I'm like that. Like, I want to get into my home and I want it to be done now.
Yeah.
But it takes
things
time.
Take time. And it takes layering. And really, it's how long are you going to be there? How attention detail specific are you going to be?
How long are you going to be there?
Yeah. My house, at least 2 years.
Oh, a whole 2 years.
Yeah, minimum. Hopefully longer, but we'll see.
Yeah, do you think so?
Well, the thing I think is...
Well, it's kind of your business to...
It's my business, but also I'd like to be in a home where I can really, truly dial it in and make it special and have every experience that guests have be special. And that's why I want to do a lot more dinner parties and house parties and things like that.
Yeah. So this house isn't that house?
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if the market pops, right, and it goes up 500, 600, 700 grand and I can sell it, then I'll do it.
Yeah. What do you think is happening with the market right now?
Transition period.
Yeah.
So interest rates are slightly coming down before the election. You'll see some jitters, but I think what I'm seeing is eventually 6-7 months, rates will probably settle in the mid to high 6s as opposed to mid to low 7s.
And people are going to come back out.
And they're going to start buying again.
And people get so nervous about the election, and John and I were just talking about that, is like typically it doesn't change anything. The election does not change anything. People think it is, and it doesn't.
People want what they want. And people want nice. And there's a big difference between kind of nice and really nice. And people will emotionally attach to really nice and they'll pay for it.
What do you think about the big homes now? Because there was that time when everybody just wanted ginormous. People don't want it anymore.
No. The magic sauce is anywhere from like 3,200 to 5,500 square feet.
Is that it?
Anything bigger is too much.
For freaking what? Because typically the people that can afford those houses, it's 2 people.
Yeah.
Right? They're empty nesters. They've created their wealth. Like,
No.
what do you want a 10,000 square foot house for?
You
hate everybody.
For your ego.
So that the husband and wife, they're at a point where they hate each other. They can have their own wings. No, but I mean, honestly, like I swear that the more I'm doing real estate, the more I'm seeing these bigger houses, the more I love my house.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it best suits you, right? You keep reiterating it over and over and over to bet your closet, your master.
I mean, I would like to not have my elliptical in my kitchen. But that being said, I mean, it's a great spot. Like, I can see out the back in the backyard, see what the dogs are doing. Like, I feel like we're all, with me and my dogs, we're all together in the family room, in the kitchen, hanging out.
And it's supposed to be a place that makes you happy. You
Right.
know, I think your home is just a representation of you, and even for a moment, if you can do it the way you want to do it, it's worth doing it.
And I'm not entertaining, so no thanks. You know what? We'll go out to eat.
Oh, I'm spending all this money on my kitchen. I'm definitely staying in.
Are you? You're never going to go out?
Oh, I'm going to go out. I'm going to entertain more at home.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
So, but then do you find that people are going to take advantage of you? Like, are you going to, you know what I mean?
Well, if they do, they're out. They won't come to the next one.
Like, you're going to do potluck and wine, bring your own wine, bring a food.
I'm not.
Because you know what I
really
mean? I mean, if you're doing it every...
I'm not doing it all the time. I'm talking like once every 6 to 8 weeks.
Well,
Yeah.
it gets expensive.
It does, but I think this is part of the game. You just be more selective on who you choose to bring in.
All right, well, expect my invite.
Gotta bring some good wine. No Miami either. I want some Blue Clicquot.
Oh. Hey, I like my Miami.
Yeah.
I'm a cheap date. What can I say?
What is it? What's the other one? Menage a Trois.
John belongs to a wine club. We'll have to bring you.
Been on 55.
No, I don't remember what the name of the wine is, but he loves it. We'll have to get you a bottle. I'll get you a bottle.
Yeah.
Because it's like his favorite wine, and so he had to like slow it down because that's the problem with these wine clubs is they he signed up for it, right?
Buy and buy and buy and buy.
They keep shipping it to you, and you're like, well, shit, I gotta drink more. All of a sudden, you're drinking.
Yeah.
You're like, I gotta drink a bottle tonight.
Yeah. I'm having more tomorrow.
Right?
Yeah.
It does not promote a healthy lifestyle when they just keep coming, and you're like. But we were talking about that because I'm not really that familiar with wine, about the aging of wine and like there's like a period at which sometimes you have to wait like 15 to 20 years before it hits its like
peak.
Yeah.
And I'm having a little wine refrigerator at my place, but it will have dual zones, so you can have your champagne and your lights and then your reds.
Only a little one? What's little?
52 bottles. So I won't drink more than that. It's a little one under the counter.
Oh, that's it?
I don't need any more than that.
Yeah, but you have to get it to sit and do its thing.
Aerate. I have a little aerator too. So.
Yeah, let it sit and do its thing. It could take 15 to 20 years.
Oh well, yeah. The stuff that I have, I still have a few bottles, and they're older, 5, 10, 20 years.
Did you buy? We brought wine home from Italy. Do you go and bring wine home?
Yeah, actually, there's a lot of good wines in Italy that I like. Very sulfate free, which is they taste. You can have 2 bottles of wine and not be drunk.
Yeah, you had 5 million calories, but
yeah,
no, I know.
But you won't have that hangover.
Yeah.
Sulfates get you every time.
I know.
Yeah.
It's in the reds, not in the white.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, let's just get white. I kind of quit drinking the red.
I get sick on white.
I get sick on red.
Yeah, depending on how heavy the red is. Yeah.
White because of the sugars, and red's because of the sulfate. Mother effer.
Yeah, you can't get out of them. That's the problem. And they dehydrate you across the board, so if it's
well,
hot.
That's really why you're really what the hangover is dehydration.
Right.
And I do agree with the sulfates.
Yeah. No,
I don't know.
it's not healthy.
So, dating, what's going on?
Well, getting out there and trying to go out and meet people.
Okay, so I've been talking to so many women lately. God, like so many.
And what are they like? Oh, I have no one. I'm alone.
Yeah, and that the dating apps are absolutely miserable. Like miserable. What the fuck is going on?
They're not putting enough effort in, or their profiles suck.
I mean,
because the best rises to the top.
No, but we're talking about beautiful people. The problem is that as a guy,
you have to pursue.
No,
as a girl, you want to be pursued,
right? But also, the guys are in the driver's seat, and a lot of guys don't have good intentions.
They don't have to be. I mean, if a girl likes a guy, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Hey, I enjoyed your profile," and seeing what he does.
I know, but if he's a douchebag who's just on there prowling around.
Rob? No, I'm just kidding. I saw him on there. No, I'm just kidding.
You saw him out a couple weeks ago.
I did. Yeah.
Rob. Once a douchebag, like always a douchebag. Like you've lied and you keep on lying, and you're lying to yourself if you think you've rehabbed, because you're not. But there are, and in fact, I mean, there's another situation, and this girl's just like, I just feel so stupid.
Why? What happened?
He had a full-on girlfriend. He just totally lied. She's like, I just feel so stupid. And I go, you can't feel stupid. It's like these guys tell you what you want to hear.
They love bombing
and they're very believable. So as a girl who her intentions are, I want to meet a guy, I want to have the connection, I want to get a relationship, I want it to go to marriage. Then there's that. And then we have the fucking girls are from Venus, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Is that what it is? And we have the men who are like, they're on there, but they're not looking to. They're not looking to the finish line. They're looking for some entertainment, for a good fuck, maybe some side piece at dinner. I mean,
well, I think what happens is people go in with very strong intentions of wanting to like change their life, and in reality is when you have a good date, I would be grateful and I would just see how it plays out, because I think what happens is you meet someone great. You put a lot of pretense, you put a lot of energy towards it, and then it blows up and you're kind of pissed off.
Yes, but yeah, I agree. Girls do like latch on to like, it was a great date. When are we getting married?
Yeah.
However, you're not addressing the douchebag man who's just on there to have a good time.
Well,
how do you read through that shit?
Well, the douchebag man, I think, reveals himself over extended dates. So, I mean, you got to go out with a guy 3, 4, 5, 6 times and see his patterns. And is he reaching out to you? Is he,
and then the problem is that it's if you're a good-looking guy, if you're a good-looking, successful guy, there's a sea full of women, and they're going on date after date after date after date. Like, there's no when is like. There's almost too much.
I think when you become the girl that is irreplaceable, and that is what they're
searching for. But don't you think that's hard to become that?
Very hard.
When there's so many other fish.
Well, as a guy, it's hard to become the guy that every girl wants too, because you got to make a lot of money, have a lot of time, and get in the gym. You know what I mean? That's not easy to do either.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's true. It's true. Because I think what happens is you have 2 barriers of entry, and I'd be curious to see what the audience thinks about this. One, a guy in this society is required to have a good job, to make money, to provide, be in good shape, and be good in bed.
But actually, the good shape thing, I don't think so.
Well, money thing. Yeah, but that's hard.
You know that. The
that's
body,
hard.
listen, the body, women will be like, meh.
But he's got money.
He has to have money.
Yeah. Okay, let's flip the script. Let's talk about beautiful, successful women 40 plus.
Okay.
Maybe they have a career, maybe they're, strong earners, but they have kids, right? Not every guy wants to go out with a girl with kids and all the baggage that requires, right?
I agree,
yeah. And not every guy wants to talk on the phone 5 times a day, because they don't have the time or whatever. Not every guy wants the proclivities that the other person brings to the table, or vice versa. So it's hard to mesh all of it together, and that's why you just got to take each date with a grain of salt. And be like,
I know. So I can't tell you how many women are just like.
How old are these women in parentheses?
From 26 to 35.
And do they have good careers?
Yeah.
Are they self-sufficient? Are they looking for a guy to subsidize?
No, I don't think they're looking for a guy to subsidize, but I definitely think they don't want a
scrub. They don't want a scrub.
Yeah. No.
Are they fun in bed?
Yeah. I can say for sure. Yeah.
I can say for sure.
I don't know. I haven't been in bed with a woman. That will never happen. That is where I draw a line.
That's the cutoff.
No, if it's another man, I'm just kidding. I always say that with John. I joke with John about that, and he's like, "Yeah." And what is it like? Every guy's like, "Oh yeah, sure, throw another girl in the bed." That's hot. I'm like, really?
Hard enough to satisfy one. How are you supposed to do 2?
Go for it. That's what I said. I got catfished onto a bisexual dating site.
Oh.
Somebody catfished all my photos. So I found out I was on there, and the guy.
You were swinging.
I was swinging.
Unknown
swinger, and a guy that follows me and knows me was like, I don't really think this is you, because I kind of know you. And I don't really think that you go that way. And I was like, oh my god, thank you. Please take me off of there. But he contacted me with a question mark and I don't think this is you, but I'm looking for another.
I don't know if this is you, but if it is you,
if it is you, call me. It was kind of great the way he put it, because his girlfriend was bisexual. They were looking for another woman.
Third wheel.
And I was like, God, isn't one woman enough? Like, no, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
Please, thank you, get me off of there. And isn't one woman enough? Like, have fun with that.
It's quite common, actually. You see a lot of it on these profiles where it's like, oh, I'm married, but my husband allows me to do this, or my wife. You're like, I don't know. That seems fishy to me.
It's fishy, and it's also, with everybody that I've ever talked about it with, it seems like a good idea at the start, but it never fails that it actually ruins the relationship.
Oh, yeah. It's just going to totally expose.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, or swingers, where they all of a sudden fall in love with the other person, and I don't even know if it's necessarily like love, but it's like something new,
Lust,
and it's
something exciting. Yeah.
It sounds like the Love Boat. The Love Boat. Anyways, no, that's definitely not gonna be my thing. But good and bad, successful, attractive. They have everything going for them.
Well, then I would use, going back to Italy, use Fellini's line, who's probably Italy's most famous director, is you have to go from failure to failure with childlike optimism. So you have to be true to yourself, and you can't look at a date as, oh, I failed, I'm a loser. No, because what higher power is saving you for is for the right person, but it's up to you to continue to go out there and meet people.
I know, I'm finding these people are, and they quit.
Because
because this is what I said. For all of you out there that think that I truly loved going on the dating apps and dating all the time.
You did. Don't lie.
I despised it. But here's my dad in his New York accent, which I don't do as well as my brother. Hey, you're taking it too seriously. You just got to go out there. You meet people. They might not be the love of your life, but maybe they're,
Maybe they introduce you to one. Or,
maybe right.
You miss all the shots you don't take. And I think everybody that you meet, there's a reason you connect. And it's not necessarily the one, but it could be someone in your life that's important
So
to you.
how do you motivate somebody to, I'm trying my hardest to be this motivational, like, it's a numbers game. You got to go out there and meet. Don't take it so seriously. You never know what they can do for you. You never know who they know.
Yeah.
Might help you in business. Might meet your new best friend.
Yeah, I was having a conversation with a married friend of mine yesterday who's never been with anyone other than his wife, and vice versa.
Wow.
And he said, so how is it having been on all these dates over the course of your life? I said, well, I had a conversation with another friend, and I said, the reason you go out with people is not to meet the person. That's a great byproduct if it happens. But it is to learn more about yourself. Because in dating a lot, you learn more about what you want versus what you don't want. And the more in tune you get with what you want, the more likely you are to attract that type of person. So that's why you do it, to learn more about yourself, to be more confident in yourself, even if you fail. Because what happens is, even with my clients, or even with me that wrote a book on this, you can go out on 4 or 5 failed dates where you're like, God, I really didn't do a great job there. It was weird. It didn't work. And then boom, the 5th one, you hit it out of the park or whatever, right? That's the way life works. So you just have to keep going. You can't stop. The moment you stop, you fail.
And I always say this because people will be like, Julie, maybe you just need to take a break from dating.
No.
And I go, okay, they're not going to come knocking on my door. Like, they're not going to be like, Julie, I'm perfect for you. Yeah.
They're not.
And, everybody's like, well, I can't believe you're on social media. What, you don't have a boyfriend? How do you not have a boyfriend? Listen, the douchebags that are reaching out to me for a date on social media, that's a no. Yeah. And also what you see of me here, it is me, but there's a totally different there's a totally different side of me, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually much more calm, I think.
No. But yes, there is a duality.
All right. I am a very high energy person, but I'm not this high all the time.
No. And that's why you have to meet people. That's the whole point of dating.
Well, I think that's the hardest part about online dating too, though, is it's just a picture. It's a flat picture.
Well, what I do, this is what's interesting. So there's some tips for the people listening in. Right. Have a good banter, couple texts back and forth on your apps, and then
FaceTime.
You can do that, or set up a date. Set up a time, set up a meeting place.
Yeah, instead of having this.
Correct. There's no reason to be a pen pal back and forth.
Well, John and I think that was one of the things that worked. He liked it because he said, can you go out tonight? And I was like, yep. And so, we right away.
Hit it fast. And then the second thing I would say is, most likely, they're going to give you their cell and say, hey, let's get off this stupid app and let's go text each other.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah, okay. What about all these girls that are like, well, I can't give you my phone number. Fucking delete and block. Have you not heard of that? Like, what is your problem?
Well, and again, I think what happens is like you see all these negative profiles or negative, like when someone says, hey, are you free Thursday night? No, I wouldn't go out with you until let's talk more. It's like, what the fuck is there to talk about? I mean, we're either going to like each other or
There's
not.
going to be chemistry or there isn't.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, what are we waiting for? What's the whole point? Me saying bullshit to you or vice versa isn't going to make me like you more or less. You're only going to know when you meet them.
I like the phone conversation or FaceTime because I think voice is very important. I think, seeing that they actually are not 300 pounds and
well, that's why once you get the mobile number, you do a search of the mobile number. You find out their full name. You find out exactly who they are.
Oh, then he does a full background search.
Deep dive.
Okay, so this was another thing, really quick. Now we gotta go. See, this was so good that we came on today because we haven't touched on all this stuff. They said red flag, huge fucking red flag if they are not on social media.
Yeah, I mean it's some way or another.
Way or another.
LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram. You don't have any of them. That's weird.
If you Google a person's name and their face does not come up,
that's a red flag. Yeah.
And one of the things that they were saying is because if they are nowhere on social media, they have another life. They are hiding. Or
they haven't accomplished something worth promoting, which is even worse. Which is even worse.
So hence, Rob, which is hilarious, Rob, is he wasn't on social media except he created the account so he could follow me and post a few pictures of me. But he then, what was I going to say? Dang it. What was I going to say about him? Oh, he's such a douchebag. About social media. God, why would he come on my profile and tell everybody that this came up today, unrelated to all of this. Oh my God, what was I going to say about him? About not being on social media. So he was not on social media because he had a wife and he had
I had too many people that would find out about him.
But then he would come on my social media, profess his love when his wife's best friend lives in Scottsdale. His daughter has friends that live in Scottsdale. Not to mention my reach is far.
Well, I think that's foolishness. I mean, that's like wanting to get caught. Yeah. yeah.
Like, really? Like, everybody knew who he was. Oh, but so then he goes on Bumble. Oh, that's what I was going to say. He goes on Bumble.
With the same face, with a different name, right?
It was, Bob instead of Rob, right? But then, of course, because he's professed his love to all of my following, everybody knows him, right?
Carla sees.
So, my spray tan girl, Carla, Bronze by Bully, love you. And, of course, Michael goes to her, too. 20 minutes into him posting, she's like, this guy, she was just being very nice, like, cautious about it, right? She's like, this guy's cute. Kind of looks like your boyfriend. And I'm like, but the best part about the whole thing, this is the really douchebag part. So he has no social media. And I send him the screenshot, and I'm like, hey, buddy, nice to see you on Bumble. And he's like, oh, oh my God, somebody stole my pictures. Somebody's catfished me. Now, again, I wound up on a bisexual dating site because my pictures actually were stolen because...
So did you believe them, or you show me your messages?
What,
to Rob.
No, so when I pulled up to his apartment, because that's all he can afford, when I pulled up to his apartment, because he's like, I emailed Bumble, look, because there's nobody to talk to, but I emailed them. Somebody stole my pictures. I go, Rob, you're not how's somebody getting your pictures to steal?
When you're not even on social media.
You're not even on social media. I've got like 5 million pictures over 10 years on social media that people can download and create a profile. And he's like, I don't know, maybe when I was on Bumble last time. I'm like, okay, right. So anyways, I go, can I see your phone? He hands me his phone. I go to apps. I go to purchases. I go to Bumble. He purchased it like the hour before. It's like there in his phone. I'm like, buddy, like you purchased it 1 hour ago, right there.
He's like, I didn't know you could look at that.
I just handed it because I pulled up to his apartment, right, and he walks out. And he's all
beat up.
He's like, I don't even have the app. Look, yeah, because you fucking deleted it. He's like, he downloads the app. He's like, look, I don't even have a profile because you fucking deleted it. And then, so anyways, I'm like, so I hand him back his phone after I show him that you just purchased it, fuckhead. Handed him back his phone, and I just drove off. Sometimes we need that shit to just be like, okay. My biggest thing would be really seriously do background checks. Do you?
I can do my own pretty fast. I mean,
But
usually.
You're not worried about girls.
You'd be surprised. There are a lot of girls out there looking for guys to take care of them.
Well, the big thing
Or
is
pregnate them. Yeah.
This is, I mean,
That's the
okay,
scary
we
part.
have to go, but my boys, I'm like, you guys, like, I don't care if they tell you they're on the pill. Now both of them have serious girl.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Yeah, and then the one time my son, wakes up in the morning and he calls me and he's like, Mom, my son tells me way too much. I had sex last night. I'm like,
good for you.
good. And he's like, I wasn't protected. And I'm like, oh my God, Will. I go, did you buy her a morning after pill? He goes, yeah. He goes, but that's not what I'm upset about. I'm like, okay. He goes, what if I have an STD? I'm like, dude, STD? We can fix that.
Yeah, we can
baby?
Yeah.
And I go, did you watch her do the morning after pill? He goes, no, but she said she took it. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I'm going to strangle you.
Yeah, gotta do the morning after smoothie. If you throw it in the smoothie.
Have you done this before? Come on.
I can't confirm or deny.
Wow.
That was a long time ago.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I haven't
You
done
want a smoothie?
That's awesome. All right. So, anyways, but yeah, the guy thing, that is really a serious thing.
Yeah, you got to
That
be
is serious.
aware.
But also, the thing is, in Scottsdale, by the way, you guys know this: women are out there scouting men. They see the Rolex, they see the shoes,
Yeah.
they get you drunk, they take you home, and the girls are roofing the guys, having sex or not maybe, and stealing all their shit.
Well, a buddy of mine had a lawsuit where a girl pretends to be pregnant, and because he's well known, she goes after him for, and like sues him for defamation and all this other stuff, and he had to fight for almost a year basically to clear his name. I mean, it happens all the time. You got to be very aware of that stuff. It's scary.
So wrap that shit up.
No glove, no love.
Oh my God. All right. Well, with that, it's exactly an hour. Oh,
There
it's
you
so
go.
quick.
Perfect.
I mean, that was fun. I'm glad we got to do this actually tonight. I kind of debated back and forth.
Oh,
I was
good.
like, well, and really quickly, I was supposed to have my earlobes, gross, my from having my ears pierced for so freaking long and wearing big ass
tighten up.
earrings. They sew them back up, and then you don't ever use those holes again. They
Do
do
new
a new
ones.
hole. I was supposed to have that done today, and anyways, it got postponed. And I was like thinking, am I going to feel good tonight? Am I not going to feel good tonight? But we postponed it, which was so good. I'm glad that we did.
Perfect.
Okay, are you ready for a
Let's do it.
song?
Let's do it.
And next week we have Jem on, who is a promoter of all the nightclubs here in town. A lot of the nightclubs here in town. So, all right. When you're in bed with your girl,
Say my name. No one is around you. Say, baby, I love you. If you
Say
ain't
my
my
name, Rob.
Say my
I know
name,
you.
Say my name. You
Bob.
kinda shady. Ain't calling me baby. Why the sudden change?
Say